So our parenthood or our childhood, they have a way of either laying a good foundation or a bad foundation in our life, which also lead us to become successful people or unsuccessful people. Consider yourself being greeted. My name is Gosego, and I'm just gonna be sharing or just chatting to you guys about the things that I've thought about, things that I've realized as I grow old. So we have an ideal nuclear family type. Like, this is the type of family that many people or most of us wishes to have, or even if you don't have, you wish your children could have, which is a family with two married couples with children of their own in the same house. Most of the time, this nuclear family, they are both educated, both career driven. They have a comfortable, warm house for their children. They instill education, positive, healthy habits, routines for their children. They just groom them to become better people for the future. Sometimes a nuclear family might not be as educated as the others, but they too have a way of instilling positive habits and routine to their children. That is why every house has its own rules and habits and routines. So, in this nuclear family, where I was, what came to my mind as I was thinking about this, it was because of a friend of mine whom I have. So, this friend of mine, she has been like a friend of mine for so long. So, she comes from a nuclear family. Both her parents have been raising her and her little brother from the younger age. Like, the parents, they are still together now. They go to church together. She's that person who was dropped at school by her dad, the dad giving her the kids, the have a good day vibes and stuff like that. So she gave me a picture of what it looks like to be in a nuclear family. So because I come from an extended family where I am staying with my I grew up with my grandmom, granddad, aunties, uncles, cousins, sisters from the other aunt. It was just a big family. So with her, I realized that the mother and the father, they were like, you could see like they were closer because it's a family with less people, so they don't even have more conflict than us in the extended family. So her growing up in a nuclear family, I realized that as she grew to when we went to high school, she started, having more confidence. She was starting to have more confidence to be more outspoken, to know that, what, I'm not gonna choose any man, I'm not gonna date any man, because already the father has laid a foundation for her to say, this is what you need to look for in a man. A man has to be financially available, has to be supportive, have to be emotionally, physically, mentally available, a father that takes care of his children to an extent that even if the child's mark is dropping, they intervene. You understand, that kind of a family. Whereas for us, or for me, in the extended family, my grandmom has a huge heart, a big heart. So but then she can't give each one of us attention because we were like 13, 14 in a house. So basically you have to kind of raise yourself, because even if you were getting bullied or something, it's either you tell the aunties or the uncles that, someone is bullying me. But as much as you would like to have a nuclear family, you just see the outline of what a nuclear family is from a friend. Because now we went to the same primary, and then she moved from that primary to a private school. So now when she came back, she started speaking English, and like we were like, okay, but then why do you speak English? Because like when we were home, and she started telling me that, you know, it's not all about knowing English to write. It's about communicating, because once you finish school, you are gonna go to a university, and you're gonna meet people from Limpopo, from Pumalanga, from KZN that does not know your language. So if you start practicing now, you are gonna be able to understand and communicate with other people, and it gives you confidence also. Okay, so now her going to a private school gives her much more better opportunities than me, because as she came back, she knew how to speak English like perfectly, and Afrikaans also, and our mother tongue, which is Setswana. So it was nice, honestly speaking, to have her as a friend, because many people around us, they would say, you know, she has a pride or whatever, you know, she thinks she's better than them or whatever. But for me, I just took it as like, this is the person that I need to keep around my circle, because this is the kind of person that I would want to be like, you know, not necessarily saying I'm in a competition or want to copy her, but I am trying to grasp the habits and everything that she is going through. So as she does this and I do this, I turn to be different. Like I realize that as we grow older, in order for you to be successful, you don't necessarily have to, you know, get a high paying job, have money. It's not about that. It's about the habit. It's about the routines that you do, because you can have money, you can get a good job, but still take all your money, you know, go party, date different girls, you know, buy expensive clothes and stuff like that, which is gonna lead you to be in debt, which is gonna leave you in living a life that is not of a success. Actually, you understand, you have money, you have cars, but you're still staying at home, you have different children from different mothers, so that is actually not a success in my opinion. So her, learning from her, she went to, after she completed her studies, good part is we both didn't fail, we both completed at the same time. So now when she completed her studies, she went to study in Joburg, and I went to Bloemfontein. So for her, it was not a thing of saying, what am I gonna do? She knew what she wanted to do already, and she told her mom already that, you know what, this is what I want to study, because I've realized this and that, this is what I want. And the mother, because she's also educated, she supported the child, and she said it's okay, and then they helped her. She went to enroll in university. I don't know, was it, yeah, she went to the Val. So when she got there, the mom already paid they found a place, an apartment for her. They even paid the apartment for the whole year. They even gave her a car. How amazing. They gave her a car. And then now, me, I have to find a way to go to Bloemfontein. I have to find a way to find accommodation. I even have to look for someone I'm gonna squat with for the first few months, for the first month. I'm sorry, for the first month before I can, you know, have my own place. And having my own place also, it was a matter of saying, how am I gonna afford? Because with NSFAS or the government assistance, you don't just get money immediately. You have to wait. There are processes. You have to go to the offices and stuff like that. So her, when she went to university, she finished. We both finished the same time. Good part. But before then, I would always ask her, like, how does it feel, you know, for your mom and dad to drop you to university? You know, it is something that I've always wanted for myself. So it's basically saying, this friend of mine was living a life of my dream, you know. But for me, I didn't take it bad, because I told myself that I'm gonna work extra hard, I'm going to do everything that I have to do to make sure that one day my children are going to live exactly or even better than my friend was living, because that is a good nuclear family. It's like a dream. It's a dream family. So that is where most of us, when we were growing, we were like, you know what, I don't want to have a child before I'm married, before I have a job, before I have an apartment, I have a car, which didn't happen that way. But at the end of the day, you pick up yourself, you make better choices, because we find ourselves, you know, as orphans, as people from single parent families, from extended families, same sex, or other families, that you feel like I need the mom and dad's love. But you yourself, you end up going to an extent of saying, you know what, because I didn't have both my mom and dad, I don't have a guidance, so I'm gonna sleep around. You know, I'm gonna have children with different people. That is actually not the way to go about. Instead, you have to look at yourself and say, because I didn't get this and that, now it is my chance to actually do better, to become better. So this friend of mine, she became successful, and when she got successful, she moved immediately from the town, from the village I was staying, to go reside in Joburg. And when she got there, she was like, yo, my friend, this life, it is not as good as you think. You know, we too have our own problems. But I said, no, it is like your family already has built a foundation for you, because now when you get a job, you first go to, you know, you go to find your own place, you start your own life there, and then you can go buy a brand new other car that you want, because both your mom and dad are working even right now as I'm talking to you guys. So for us, it becomes a problem, because once you start to get a job, like for my aunties, when they completed their matric, they didn't get the chance to go to study to universities and stuff, because they had to go work so that they can help us back at home to make it a pleasant home. Because my grandmom and my granddad, they didn't lay a foundation. You know, we were staying in a shack, which is something that when once you finish school, you have to go look for a job so that you can actually build a foundation and build a better house. So that is why my friend and me, because we talk a lot, and she knows me from growing from when I was young, and I know her from, so she's that person who would say, you know what, I don't necessarily look at you and say, okay, you come from a shack, or you come from a house like this and that, because my grandmother's house is like her great great grandmother's house. You know, her mother's house is like a dream house that I would possibly build. And then her, it's like I will never buy, or I will never build a house like my mom's. So you understand, when someone look at your where you were, where you grow, where you, like a house you grew in, and then they will be like, this is this what you call a house? No, for me it is a house, because I know where I come from. I know how or what happened before that house was built. I knew that my aunties had to sacrifice their lives, and to sacrifice their life in order for me and my grandmom and my cousins to have a better house, you know, a bigger house. So that is where sometimes when you visit your friends, and you'd be like, okay, so this is your home, and you check where your mom and dad stays, or where you stay, and you feel like, yo, this house is like a dumpster. No, for them it's a home, because they know exactly how they struggled to get where they are. So that is why there is an imbalance between me and my friend. So I always tell her that, you know what, I don't envy you. I'm not even jealous, because I feel like your dad and your mom, they've already laid a good foundation for you. So I'm not gonna be jealous of you. I'm gonna try to go on my pace and lay this foundation for my children, so that my children will also uh, be able to grow on top of the foundation that I've already established, or my aunties has established, so that they become better people in the future. So at the end of the day, you don't compare yourself because we're both 24. No, we don't compare ourselves because of that. We compare ourselves because both our she has both her mom and dad, which is like an ideal nuclear family. My mom died when I was young, and I don't stay with my dad. I don't have a good relationship with my dad. So that is the thing. You check things like that. My identity, who I am, where I come from, my family dynamics, where I grew up in, the house that I grew up in, it is not the same as the house that she grew up in. So basically, it is what I am telling you guys, that it is important as children or as young adult growing up in every circumstances, or in every house that you were living in. It doesn't matter, but the choice that you make, it matters, because it either gonna draw you closer to your dreams, having good how